So what is the best way to become a gardener? Well, you can do trial and error, but that could be very expensive. You could read up a lot. You could watch YouTube videos. You could, read all kinds of books, television programs. The best way, I think, though, is to find a neighbor who's got a wonderful garden, who's got all the skills. So we've got an opportunity coming up for you just to do this. Very shortly, in fact, next Saturday, is the Back Mountain Bloomers Garden Tour. They have 5 highlighted gardens where you can meet the owner, you can meet experts, and there's a lot going on more, but we'll find out a little bit more about that later on. This is one example of the gardens they have on show next Saturday. Let's go meet Louise, and she'll tell you all about her garden. Well, Louise's property is actually built on the site of an old farm building, and there she is. Louise, this is still a remarkable time. Every time I visit your garden, it still amazes me what you've done.
Thank you very much.
If you haven't seen this garden before, Louise, take it away. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, this is a garden that I started about 25 years ago. And I'm not the brightest gardener. I'm a good gardener. I started down below and then worked up the hills. It's easier to work from the top down.
Let gravity take
Like gravity takes it.
Excellent.
And if you think this part of the garden is lovely, you need to see the rest of the garden.
Come on, let's check it out. I love your little archway here. Well, we've moved a little bit further into Louise's back garden, and you can see that rocky outcrop is really quite extraordinary. They just look beautiful with the moss growing on them all and the overhangs. When you first looked at the property, there was obviously nothing there, and it must have been a bit daunting at first.
It was, and yet I had a vision for it. I love plants. I got that from my grandparents. And I thought there has to be a way to garden in rock areas. I used a lot of compost, which is actually better for the plants than too much soil.
Gotcha. So that can hold some nutrients.
That can hold the nutrients,
moisture.
it can hold some moisture.
But even so, I see you're planting a lot of drought-resistant plants in there.
Yes.
Because you don't want to be watering every day, do you?
No, and I don't want to be climbing up there every day.
I love that little pink dianthus. You've got a little kind of sway, I don't know what the word of it, drift of it started there.
Yes.
You see you have a lot of dianthus up there.
Yes, I do. I do. Dianthus, a lot of thyme in that area. Ground covers work really well on these rock ledges.
Yeah, and you're almost complete there in places. So it just looks fun. And I see a little blue star juniper.
Yes.
It gives you a little bit of colour in the winter, I imagine.
Yes. Yes,
but
it
you've
does.
got grasses in there. You've got a few of these oxeye daisies spreading around. And lady's mantle.
Yes.
Everything is displayed for you, isn't it? You've got an awful lot of plants right there where you sit, where you enjoy your
yes.
summer drink.
We sit on our deck. We watch them through the season. They start usually with the dianthus blooming, and then we get into some of the thyme blooms. Some of the other different ground covers will have little flowers on them. That's such a poor soil area that I knew I had to use things that would thrive in poor soil.
Because you love hosta, we should show the viewers some of your plantings here.
Okay.
And just right down by our feet here is a really nice planting. And you'll have to explain the netting.
Okay, that's deer netting.
Yes.
It's deer and rabbit netting, and if you anchor it down, it usually keeps them out of there. If you don't anchor it, the rabbits can get in under, but it does take care of the deer.
Yeah, no, they look beautiful. Just how
Thank you.
wonderfully they ground cover. There's no room for weeds.
No, well,
But as you say,
a few.
A few, but relatively easy to weed.
Yes.
Would you say, yeah? The deer netting, it tells you something about hosta. It's like a salad for them, yeah?
Yes, yes.
So if you want to grow hosta, choose areas where the deer may not come in the summertime.
Or have a fenced yard.
A fenced yard, yeah. But the trouble is, once they get used to know they're there, they make a beeline for it.
Yes, they do.
And they will mow them down.
And you have to place the deer netting early in the season before they're grown very much.
Yeah, because they just nip the buds off.
Yes.
And it can be a while before they come up.
Yes.
All right, let's go and have a look further down there, because I don't think I've seen this extended area, shall we say. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we've moved in a little closer to see some of the plantings you got here, and seems to be deer, what's the word, deer-free? Deer resistant?
Well, it might be deer resistant. I wouldn't say deer free.
It's a white salvia.
Yes.
Typically you see the blue ones, but there are all kinds of new colors out there now. You're a brave person to plant the lilies, yeah?
Well, okay. So I've had those lilies probably 20 years.
Yep.
For the first 3 years, they never bloomed because they were eaten before they bloomed. Now I net them
Ah, so you took the net off for
I
us.
took the net
Good.
off so that you could see them actually bloom this
Gotcha.
year, but the net will go back on when
Straight
you
away,
leave.
yeah, because they love that. They love it. And further up, I see you got the dianthus, like the little grass coming up on the ledge.
That's a light pink dianthus.
But it's growing on hardly any soil. Isn't that remarkable?
Yes.
Absolutely remarkable.
And dianthus in particular doesn't like to be wet, doesn't
Yes.
like its feet wet.
So it's going to dry
it's
out.
happy.
Yep, the sun's going to heat up the rock. It's going to be pretty hot, and it's quite happy in there.
Yes.
And right at the top there, that's got to be a nepeta of some sort.
Yes, it's
Catmint.
Walker's Low.
Yeah, brilliant, isn't it?
And
It's doing, again, there's not much soil up there, is there?
No,
No,
no.
so it's doing really well.
I did bring in some soil to plant that particular plant.
Gotcha. And just to the right, it's a bit green now. It's a lighter green. That probably was in full flower early in the spring.
Earlier, yes, it's an earlier
And that's
spring
one of
flower.
the euphorbias or the spurges.
Yes.
I'm not sure which one that is, but it usually they have a yellow flower, it's fair to say.
Yes.
But
And
what's nice
it has the darker red veins to it.
Yeah, I've gotcha.
So when the yellow flower is on it, it's a nice contrast.
Gotcha. I see a little is that your bonsai?
Well, it actually belongs to Carl Ockheimer, who's the president of the Bonsai Society.
So what's it doing here? That's what I may
Well,
ask.
he's going to be here with all of his bonsai for people to look at, to possibly buy if they want, and
What
to
an
learn
opportunity.
about.
Yeah, what an opportunity. Fantastic. And he's very knowledgeable and he's good with people. So if you want to learn about bonsai, you've got to visit Louise's garden next Saturday.
So we're here in the garden, and one of the things Paul has been asking me is, what are these plant numbers? And I had to explain to him that we always have a sheet with all the names of the plants.
All right.
And the numbers are by the plants, so they can say, oh, I like that one. What is it?
Gotcha. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you want to learn about perennials, this is the place to come. How many of you got numbered?
I've got 104 numbered, and that's not all of the plants
Okay.
that I have.
So see if you can recognize 104
Four
perennials.
different plants.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you. Now don't go away. When we come back, we're going to visit a pollinator garden and get the details about how you can join the Back Mountain Garden Tour coming up next Saturday.